Now, for last round of startup pitches, we'll go again, of course, in space, looking much more at a more ambitious plan to launch constellations and discuss launch operations. So in order to do that, I'd like to welcome on stage Olivier Piepsz from Prométhée, who is going to discuss about nanosatellites constellations. Olivier, if you want to join, please. And Marine. I'd like to welcome as well Christian Canard from Space Dreams. Please join us on board in order to demonstrate solutions for spaceports. And finally, Damien, if you can join us. Damien is, thank you, Damien, from Stellar. Welcome on board. So, Olivier with Marine, if you don't mind starting, we'll give you the floor to tell us more about Prométhée. And actually talk a little bit more about what you want to do with your nanosatellites constellations.
50 years ago, we caught sight of Earth for the first time. A planet filled with environmental richness, wonders, beauty, and all the life it holds. A life we must fight to preserve. Just as a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil could trigger a cyclone in India, the environmental degradation and demographic pressure threaten the future prosperity, security, and well-being of all humankind. The evidence is all around us. Floods, pollution, higher temperatures, mass migration, droughts. To anticipate, manage our resources, and ensure everyone's safety, we must observe, monitor, and protect our environment. Only a global vision relying on Earth observation data can provide local solutions to meet everyone's needs. Prométhée's Earth intelligence to give access to our own environmental governance, a sovereign service enabling your Earth observation leadership by tasking, monitoring, and providing full access to space data. By offering a global monitoring intelligence that responds to local environmental crises, Prométhée Earth observation will inform and generate tailor-made, highly sustainable alternatives. Observe climatic phenomena, protect water resources, optimize infrastructures, prevent the outbreak of pandemic and infectious diseases, monitor plants, wildlife, and human activities, identify new opportunities for sustainable growth to build realistic and economically viable solutions. For the future, for our future.
Good afternoon. I am Olivier Piepsz. I'm the president of Prométhée, and I'm very happy to be here today with Marine Longuet, who is our new CFO. And as you know, when a startup gets a full-time CFO, it's a very, very good sign. And I will add that, okay, our gender proportion today is of exactly 50%.
Thank you, Olivier, and thank you for welcoming me. So, Olivier, we just watched a beautiful movie with some turtles, bears, beautiful wildlife. We understood that the world is changing very fast, that new threats appear. But what's your point?
Okay, world is changing, then there are new needs. I would say the first need is really the capability to have automatic surveillance on very wide area. For instance, with all the new environmental key challenge, okay, we have to watch ocean, we have to watch forest, and you have also 1,000 kilometers of critical infrastructure as oleoduct, gazoduct, internet cabling. And that's the first one. The second one is, okay, current system with one satellite, you get revisit time or refresh every 2 to 3 days. and a must today is go down to get information below every 1 hour. The solution to get that is quite simple. It's get constellation. The constellation, it's really the new space revolution with the reduction, I would say, of the cost of launch. We talk about it. Digital hybridization, miniaturization of technologies, and also this new kind of structure, small structures with a lot of experts, but very agile, are allowing now to build and provide solution for constellation, and of course, affordable constellation.
Okay, so that said, what is new and unique in the proposition of Prométhée today?
Okay, the positioning of Prométhée is really to be the French operator for constellation of nanosatellites on Earth observation from all, I would say, the space infrastructure and toward the customer, donc, with all the complex treatment of the data. Donc, to be quick, our differentiator from competitors are the following. We will have, for our first constellation, in fact, the most advanced satellite platform and maybe the most compact and performant sensor of the market. That's point one. Point two, we will provide, 2025, we'll see later in the agenda, a system with unrivaled, very high revisit time. It's from 2 to 3 days to, 40 minutes under our latitude. And we will bring new concept. It's hyper-reactivity. In fact, we will connect our constellation with other constellation in order to, additionally to the image, we can send information up to every 15 minutes on the ground. Last but not least, you have, of course, the core of our project is our highly aggregative digital platform. It's really multi-source data fusion to go from, I would say, raw image to smart data to complex services. And we are here in Dassault Systèmes, and we talk and we had exchange on 3DS. But what is really interesting for us with our future cooperation with Dassault Systèmes is how to connect complex systems and get an idea how to build, I would say, a coherent system architecture with the Dassault Systèmes dedicated tool.
So now, could you explain us what are the next key milestones for Prométhée?
Our philosophy is quite simple. We want to be the first, then the best. Then in 2022, we finalized the first version of our aggregative digital platform that we sold to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In October, it's not next month, but we have to wait for October. From Cape Kennedy, we will launch our first satellite, Prométhée 1. The next year, 2024, we will have 2 additional satellites, one with hyperspectral technology. The second one is Piepsz. Donc we were very lucky to win the Plan de Relance with the full support of CNES and Ministry of Economy. And this Piepsz will be the brick for the future constellation that we will begin to deploy from 2025. Of course, in parallel, we will develop some, I would say, service line. And with this constellation, we will begin to sell our first services. But all that is our first business. The second business, when we will have developed, I would say, the complete infrastructure, we'll be capable to duplicate it and to sell it to export customer, offering them a full space sovereignty. Okay, I talk about fantastic agenda, but of course the key issue is funding. Donc, Marine, you can maybe talk about funding.
So, indeed, yeah. So as of today, we secured payments for about 20 million euros, which with a mix of course, equity, subsidies, and public orders.
It's cash. It's cash.
By the end of July this year, we will add 4 to 6 million euros. And with that, we will be able to secure the financing of our 3 first satellites. And then, this is a big step. Then we have to finance our constellation of 20 nanosatellites for an amount of 100 million euros. And our strategy will be the following. We will target France 2030, public orders, and use it as a leverage to get additional equity.
Okay, we talk about agenda, we talk about financing, and the market.
Well, market tomorrow will be a very large and scalable market. Why? Because new space technology will bring data tomorrow with very high frequency at a very lower cost. And this is really clearly a revolution because we assess that the market could be multiplied by a factor to most close to 100, which is huge. And Prométhée, we want to be a key player in that high revisit market with our dual offer. So as a reminder, on one side, we will sell Earth intelligence as a service with data and complex services. And on the other side, we will sell the space sovereignty infrastructure, which consists in a sale of constellation for export customer and a ground segment. And we are quite confident today because we have strong mark of interest with around 15 countries, export countries, and we have advanced discussion with 4 countries. So that's a good sign.
Okay, we know that there are VVVIP in the room, but also VC. Donc maybe for a conclusion, let's talk to the VC.
So for our preferred VC in the room, some key figures. So Prométhée, within 4 years, we plan to have more than 50 satellites in orbit and 140 in production, which will lead us to a revenue close to 200 million euros, which is actually more than the actual revenue of Planet. And with time, by 2030, we intend to generate more and more revenue with the sale of services with a B2C mass market approach, thanks to an app store approach.
Okay, from infrastructure, we'll go more and more digital, and I know that VC like that. Donc we heard that there will be a networking event. Donc we are really open to discuss all this subject with you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you.